All right, cool.
What's going on, folks? Had a hell of a weekend of football we got to talk about. Of course, we got to talk about our birds, man. We've
Of course.
a few of the coaching, little defensive coordinator search, and some dude named Lamar Jackson talking about again.
Man.
So I guess we got to talk about it. So
There is gasoline on that fire, which is igniting it even more, man, because the talk has been heavy. You got odd makers, landing us at number 2 as far as favorites, and just, all around the NFL execs and them having their point of views and their say. And, they seem like Atlanta's the front runner. We are that team right now.
Looks like it might be, yeah. So we're about to get into that in about, 30 seconds. What's happening, folks? It is episode 84 out of your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons fan cast. We're 84 today, brother. How about that?
That's awesome. 84. Man, what a great number. Great number.
Somebody here is 37 today.
What? Hey, baby. Chapter 37 begins, man. I am so happy to be a part of this planet still. So many things in this crazy world, bro. Right. But one thing for sure, man, I'm, truly blessed to be here. And I, thank you guys for having me on. It's always a pleasure rocking with you guys for sure. And yeah, man, it's just an outpour of happy birthdays and stuff like that on Twitter, man. I'm very humbled by it. I thank every single individual that wish me well wishes. I appreciate everybody, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So with that said,
yes, sir.
Y'all see, there's no mic here yet.
Man.
Poor dude's transmission just died on him on the highway about, 45 minutes ago. So he texted me and was like, man, I can't make it. So I hit up Alberto, man, and he came through like a champ in the last second.
No doubt, man.
With me tonight. So yeah, Alberto, appreciate it. And
of course,
we got Kevo on the show tonight, man. We've been wanting to get him on for a while now. We met
on,
man. I think it was Smitty's show, right? The first time.
Yep.
So yeah, man. So Kev, man, introduce yourself and tell them what the folks where they can find you and all that good stuff.
You guys can find me on Spotify. It's actually Kevo, but I let somebody say Kevo because look, man, I'm not gonna kill my dog, but my birth name is Kevin. My father's name is Kevin. I have a cousin named Kevin, and my cousin Kevin's father's name was Kevin too. God rest his soul.
Damn. Yeah.
So I had to, I had to split it.
That's right.
When you're growing up at your grandma's house and you hear Kevin, everybody's jumping up at once.
Oh man,
dude. So my dad's John. My grandfather was Jonathan. I'm Jonathan technically, but everybody calls me John. So man, I'm right there with you, dude. I understand. Yeah, I'm right there. So
crazy, man.
Yeah. So Mike might hop in here if he gets. He's waiting on the tow truck, so I don't even know. I mean, we'll see what happens, man. But hopefully he'll be able to make it at the end.
I hope he does, man.
Yeah, me too. He was wanting to make it for sure, especially because Kevo with both of you guys being from DC, man, he was wanting to chat with you on that too. But
sure.
Yeah, man. So let's hop real quick before we get going to chat. Dixon Way, what's up, Larry?
Oh, Larry.
First one in the chat for my first time question. I appreciate you.
Yeah, buddy. Man. Awesome, man. Good content over there, man.
It is, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Dixon Way, man. The watch parties are awesome. Him and his wife, man, they do a fantastic job. It's hilarious. It's, if you're an Atlanta fan, you need to be on that one.
Facts, man.
Ghost Peppers, what's up, brother?
Ghost Peppers.
See you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Carrie, what's going on?
Carrie. Oh, yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Dixon Way.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, Larry, like you said, man. Yeah, if y'all are watching the video, hit the like button for us. It helps us out so much.
Definitely.
With the YouTube algorithm, man, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And by the way, man, we surpassed 200 subscribers today. How about that? It's a great day.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, man.
So yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we've so the YouTube growth over the last couple of months has been crazy, which is awesome because I mean that's kind of what we were hoping for. But I mean it's been, also a credit to the other guys like you guys that we've been on with and everything too. It's gold, man. It's just getting the name out there.
Bro, you guys are putting in the A+ work, man. So we credit yourselves, man. You guys do the research. You guys do it, man. You guys bring a different flavor, man. So there's a flavor for everybody out there, man. So everybody has a different delivery. That's what that's the humbling and appreciative part of this. Everybody has a great opinion. No one's wrong, no one's right, but it's always a good way. You can kindly disagree on things, but it's all because it's all Falcon content at the end of the day, man. And that's what it's all about, man. That's all.
100%.
Everybody's got a different view. That's all, man.
Yeah, awesome. Man. Yeah, I mean, Mike and I always get the we always get the like, how the hell did y'all become friends? Like question. I was like, man, that's why it works, dude. That's exactly why it works. Because we said it before. Like I couldn't do the show by myself. Mike couldn't do it by himself. Like it just we feed off each other, man. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
But let's see. Ghost Pepper said we just got out of cap purgatory, having a decent QB on rookie come. Man, we're gonna get there, buddy. We're gonna get there. Carrie's excited to see Kevo on the show too.
Yeah.
Miss Bridget, what's happening?
Oh, Miss Bridget.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Bridget.
Larry said congrats on 200, man. We appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, man.
So, all right, man. So starting off with the number one, I needed to plug Variety Sports. As you were coming to you on Variety Sports Network, just to let y'all know, Variety Sports now is a Variety Sports Collegiate Network. So we're starting to bring on other college shows, stuff like that. Really cool shit. So I will post a link to that in the video when we get done. You can find this college basketball, it's gonna be college football, you name it. So the Variety Sports growing like crazy, which is awesome to see. So keep that out. Shout out to the Bolt Bros. our buddies from the Chargers podcast. We went on earlier this season. We went on with them yesterday to help them kind of process that disaster they lived through. Because we kind of know what it's like, right?
Yes, man, to a T.
Yeah. So we were actually me and Mike were texting with them during the game, and as it was like crumbling, I mean, it was just like deja vu, dude. Like I mean, obviously ours was the bigger stage, obviously, but I just felt so bad, man. I was like, man, yeah, that was tough to watch.
Yeah, man.
But,
a lot of close ones.
Yeah, man. But shout out those guys when they had us on. We talked for damn near 2 hours yesterday, so it was a good time. So even in the loss, it was a good time. But then we saw today they fired Joe Lombardi, they fired their offensive coordinator, and they're passing. I think their QB coach, Shane Day. So, yeah. So out the door. So we'll just start with that one, man. So
a lot of changes going on in Charger land right now, man. I mean,
you figured there would be.
You figured what you'd be. Joe Lombardi, I think I believe he came from the Packers organization or New Orleans, one of the two. I think that's how he made his way onto the Chargers. But a decorated offensive coordinator, so to say. He worked with the likes of Drew Brees, so he knows a thing or two about this passing atmosphere that we're in the NFL right now. Because right now it's a passing league. Mm-hmm. But man, just to take your foot off the pedal. And you was doing so good, man, and you couldn't get the yardage necessary just to keep them boys at bay. That's the shocking part to me, man. You couldn't come up with anything after 27 points. They were up 27-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's 3 in the second half. That was
what the hell gave? Like, what was? I don't know, man. I'm still shocked that happened because you got a guy like Herbert, you got a guy like Palmer, the wide receiver. Kid's great. Should have utilized him more. Eckler, when in his strengths out of the backfield, should have used that more. It's just there was no answer at all, man. They just went flat, man.
I thought Eckler too, so underrated, man, around the league.
Very, yes.
But I mean, man, and but yeah, I mean, 3 points, man. Dicker missed a field goal, 2 field goals.
2, yeah.
So that's the game right there. And then. But just not to be able to manufacture anything in the second half, after freaking Asante Samuel, 3 interceptions in the first half.
Living up his daddy's. Facts, man.
And I mean, it makes me feel so old, man. Like, I'm like, how is this possible that I'm watching Asante's son do this? But I mean, 5 turnovers in the first. I mean, you lose the game, man. Like it's
heartbreaking.
I mean, big ups to Trevor Lawrence, though, man. Like he came out, he put that shit, but he forgot all about it. He didn't even. He forgot all about the first half. Went out there and just was slinging it on the second half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you figured there's gonna be a scapegoat for sure. But Lombardi had been like, I mean, those guys, the Bolt Bros, they wanted him fired like at the bye week. They wanted him gone long ago.
They know more than we do, I guess. So
exactly,
rightfully so.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just It was sad to watch because, like I said, we become friends with those guys. But I don't know if y'all saw the tweet they did before they played us. I mean, we put it out there and it went kind of crazy. I think it's like 80,000 views now.
Jesus.
Yeah, the Awful House thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. I saw that. Gotcha.
28% off 3 waffles, something like that. I'm like, I mean, y'all did it to yourselves.
Facts. Karma. Right.
You're gonna put perfect that shit out there, and then 27-0. There it goes. So
man.
I had a question for both you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's up, bro? No, go ahead, bro.
I know Alberto might know this already, but I believe I saw a stat. I think the 2010 Chargers. I know everybody likes to laugh at the Falcons, but the 2010 Chargers, I believe, are the only team that had the #1 offense and defense and still missed the playoffs. Is that correct?
Man,
I read that.
Wow, you could be right on that. 2010.
I think it was the 2010 Chargers.
Ronnie Harrison was still playing. I think so. He could be right, man.
Well,
and not because I'm throwing the Rodney Harrison name out there. It was just he was the main cog on that defense at that time. So man, you might be onto something. You might got me on that one, man. Because
let me know, man. You guys let me know about that by the end of the show, please.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. No doubt, man.
Chat, want to look that up? Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
What's crazy is one of the Bowl Bros, man. They said that was it? I think it was 95. I think the Times 5 season was like, he said this was their 3rd worst loss. And I mean, and Mike was like, shit, what was the first 2? Because this was pretty damn bad. I mean, like, but they said the 95, I think Super Bowl, and then I can't remember the second one he said, but yeah, I mean that's either way, man. Like they really are like Atlanta West, and we really are like Chargers East. Like it's
when
crazy how similar they are.
I saw that meme or whatever, whoever did it. The mix, I was like, oh my god, man, come on.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All right. So anybody got anything else in that game before we go to the next one?
I just want to point out how the Jaguars, how close they are to actually being a legitimate contender. I know they get Calvin Ridley back if everything goes good with his process with reinstatement, but just to know that they're maybe another running back away, because Travis Etienne, let's face it, man, he can't tote the rock all the time. He has a magnificent skill set. He is a do-it-all back, but you don't want to wear him out. Adding a running back and maybe another defensive piece to that, they're cooking with something over there, man. And it's good to see different teams, on this uprise, so to say. I know we're going to be there next year for sure because our time is here, goddammit. But the Chargers have been banging at the door, you know what I mean? 2017, 2016, that was their last, hoorah, so to say, making it to the AFC Championship game against the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Or no, was it them? No, the Patriots. I'm sorry, it was the Patriots. So, they're seeing them now when what they're doing and, the way that defense plays and how that offense is clicking, man. Doug Peterson's the perfect coach for that offense, and I think next year they're going to be something to be dealt with, man, for sure.
I agree. Yeah, man. All right, so 49ers Seahawks kind of went the way that Seahawks hung around for the first half, and then but 49ers. So that's the question, right? So you got Mr. Irrelevant over there doing it in Shanahan's offense. So is it Shanahan's offense, right? That's what it is.
It's what it is. It's Shanahan's offense, man. That's so tailor-made for anybody, man. It's like you and I can drop back and throw passes.
Yeah, man.
They make it so simple, man. It's like there's no thinking in that offense whatsoever. It's just here's your read, here's your and your next read is your go-to. Boom, you're good. Yeah. So it's incredible. Oh my God, man.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Not even no. You're right. You're could just stand there like, yo.
Yeah, like facts. Like, hey, I'm part of this game too. Waiting for a target. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and I saw some folks on Twitter like comparing, like, man, like Ritter can't even do what the last pick in the draft is doing. I'm like, man, y'all can't compare.
Y'all can't do that, man. No, man. Two totally different offenses. Everything about them is just difference, man. So folks got to calm down with that.
It really it's not black and white like that.
Right.
You look at what their defense is, you look at what their offensive pieces are. The best left tackle in the game. Arguably all of that stuff. It's like who knows what would happen with Trey Lance back there? You know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
We may not even get to see that. Who knows? Which direction they go in.
They have a good problem over there as far as quarterbacks.
They sure do.
Yeah.
So but kudos to Geno, man. He had a hell of a comeback. Definitely comeback player of the year, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
But that 49ers team, even with the last pick in the draft, is going to be a pain in the ass, man. It's going to be a pain in the ass for any team that plays them. But y'all got anything on that before we move on?
I think the only thing that hurts me is watching Ryan Neal ball out. I think he was graded as the top safety in the league this year for Seattle. Just to think, man, he was just with us, man, over the summer, and we let him go. He could have been a fool's goal for us this year. He could have really stood out, the way that he's playing with Seattle or for Seattle. We could have definitely used that on our back end, man. So, but shouts out to him, man. He played a hell of a season.
It's true.
Yeah, Kevo, you got anything on those guys?
Yeah, I wanted to say just we should look at that both quarterbacks, the situations for both teams. I know everybody's jumping on Purdy and saying, well, how come Ritter can't do this? First of all, they've had years to assemble that team around him, which is what we hope to do with Ritter. Or for the guys complaining about Ritter. Seattle has a problem too, because do you pay Geno for one good year of football? Let's say Mariota does what Geno does. Do you want to commit to Mariota for 1 year of good football? We could be living that too, and then you pay him, and then he turns you to Tannehill without Arthur Smith, or worse.
Yeah, you got to credit Pete Carroll. He did what he needed to do to make Geno successful in that offense, and he knew what he knew he could. That's why they went that direction. So yeah, I agree, man. So Dolphins Bills was kind of crazy,
man. Back and forth, man.
Another rookie quarterback, third string, coming out of Skylar Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Just
he looked good.
Allen didn't have a great game.
Nope.
You know, I mean, like he hit a few throws, but I mean, that's, you know, I mean, that was, I don't think any of the Bills expected that. I think that when they come out like rolling like early in the game, I thought they probably figured like, okay, this is going to be I mean, my son stopped watching it. He left and to go upstairs and start playing because he loves Josh Allen. He loves the Bills. He loves watching the Bills. But yeah, he was like, yeah, it's not fun anymore. And I was like, dude, it's a playoff, so you never know, brother.
You never know, man.
I don't know, man. I like that McDaniel or what's his name, Daniels a lot, man, for Miami. He's the goofiest freaking head coach I've ever seen. But man, I mean, other than what happened with Tua this year, I mean, like pretty good season. And considering they were even talking about firing him.
Yeah, no, that's so silly, man. That's so silly, man. No, dude, he's the right coach for that thing. Without him, if you don't have McDaniels, you don't bring in a Tyreek Hill. I think that's how it correlates. Like they brought in the right coach and surrounded Tua with the right pieces, starting with Tyreek Hill. So you know, and Waddle and Gesicki and stuff like that. They have something going on down there. I just feel bad for Tua, man, because it's 4 concussions in a year. You know, how is he going to play with that in the back of his mind next year? You know, how safe does he feel actually being on that field? Because you know it's gonna trigger him his mental somehow. I mean, I look for them to bring in a more established quarterback to go ahead and back him up, because Bridgewater, he's another guy that's pretty suspect, as far as injuries. He's always hurt. Yeah. So, just, man, the game was great. Great offensive, output by both teams. Defensively, what can you say? Both teams fucking brought it, man. Yeah. They were hitting and they were fucking hitting hard. It was a division game. You can tell in every sense of the word, man. Yep. But yeah, man, Thompson did great, man. I think McDaniel simplified the game and put him in the best situations to succeed. And you saw that some things, his receivers didn't do no justice for him. As far as like Waddle dropping passes, man. Some gimmies, man. And this, is a very explosive offense. And, those things on some plays really did hurt. But overall, man, we were blessed with a fantastic weekend for football, man. Starting off with the Saturday night games and then trickling into Sunday, man, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know that a lot of people were saying like some of their confidence in the Bills kind of maybe went down a little bit, because with that type of performance. I mean, it's going to be with the Bengals coming in, man. That's going to be kind of wild. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere, man. I would be surprised to see DeMar at that game if he can make it. I'll be, that's going to be a huge boost for them. But it was crazy to watch. Like you said, those drops were huge. And I mean, because those were, I mean, some explosive type. You said explosive type plays. It could have been, change, like field position changing on those.
Oh my God, yeah.
But so.
And just to think of it, he was on our goddamn coaching staff too. Dude, if I'm not mistaken, man, there's a tree of former Falcon coaches everywhere, and a lot of them are all head coaches, man. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And they caught him vaping. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Did you see that?
I didn't even catch that, man.
Oh, bro, he's on the sideline. He has his hand, all black gloves. He's like this. He's taking a big old whiff. I'm like, wow, man, this dude's ballsy, man. He'll get fined. He's gonna get fined.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, man.
So Giants, Vikings.
Oh, man.
Did y'all have any faith in the Vikings? Because I didn't.
I didn't. I thought they were front runners all year. I think they just benefited from a pretty lax schedule. I really did, man. Kirk Cousins shows it year in and year out, man. He just doesn't have that moxie to, elevate anybody else.
He doesn't, man.
He benefited from all-world wide receiver and Justin Jefferson, man. That kid, you can throw it and he'll go and get it. It's just plain and simple. I really didn't have no faith in him. And Dalvin Cook, for as great as he has ran before, you kind of saw some, so he went back a little bit. He wasn't that Dalvin of old. I mean, I know he's piled up the injuries and stuff like that. So I know that hindered him too. The defense also, got a lot of pieces in there, like Patrick Peterson, man. He's 30-something years old. How effective can he be? Harrison Smith, another guy that's aging up there. He's the back-end safety. So, there's probably going to be a time where that team gets, that defense at least gets, imploded, and you start seeing guys leaving left and right, man, because it might be time for a change, man. Might be time.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones, man.
Dude, Daniel Jones, man, went from who the hell is this guy to like, oh, wait a minute.
People don't realize that the mobility that guy has.
He is super mobile. Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Dayball, man.
Yo, man, shout out big time to Coach Dayball, man.
Coach of the year right there, right? I mean, has to be.
It has to be. You saw what he did with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a credit to what he's doing now with Daniel Jones. It's like you can almost see not similarities as far as the throwing ability, but the naked bootlegs, the roll out of the pockets, using the strengths that Daniel Jones possessed to his advantage. Also with the legs, like you mentioned, the kid's sneaky athletic as he is. So it's good to see because that guy's been under a lot of scrutiny, man, and it's good to see him elevated to some sort. And they got a tricky problem. Who do they pay now? Come this offseason, they got two big names. Do you start shedding some of those contracts from defense? Start trading some assets away because you kind of want to keep that core intact, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Hey, if we can't get Deron Payne after watching that game, I'm all in for Dexter Lawrence. Man, he was stuffing. He was stuffing down.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and from Daniel to go to basically like a bust to, we're not going to, dude. I mean, he may be just getting stupid paid, and you can give that all to credit all to Coach Dable, man. Like, that's because he completely changed his career with what he's doing with him. Yeah. So, and I mean that I can't wait for that matchup with the Eagles, man. That's just going to be I mean, just like this game was with the Buffalo Miami, man. Like, that's going to be just a hard hitting. I mean, just like awesome to watch.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, Bengals Ravens, man, that was much better than I thought. I knew, you go in thinking like, okay, it's a division matchup, just like us and the Saints. The shit's always close, no matter what the records are on the teams. So I was thinking like, all right, well, still though, no Lamar. Tyler hadn't been great. Yeah, been okay. Now they might keep it close. Bengals will pull away in the end, man. They damn near lost that game, man.
They did. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Hubbard running 100 yards.
Highlight of the game, dude, and that's one guy I'm like so happy for him because it seems like he's been the mainstay there. Sam Hubbard has the Ohio State guy, if I'm not mistaken. He was drafted out of
Cincinnati.
there. Yeah, and dude, it's like he's been like second fiddle. They went through Geno Atkins, through Carl Lawson, Carlos Dunlap. Now they got Trey Henderson. So it's like he's always second fiddle, but he's been the mainstay, always making plays. Yep. So for him to get that, I was so happy for him. I was like, I hope nobody touches him. There's some Andrews almost came close, but I was I was like, nah, man, go big fella. I was happy to see him score that touchdown, man.
Tirico had me hyped, man. Like he was calling on that call, man. Like that was.
Oh man, and that's a good point, man. The announcing has been better. A lot more energy, man. It's not like an Al Michaels segment. That dude has like no freaking enthusiasm. It kills me watching Sunday Night Football.
What sucks too, because we've all grown up with Al Michaels, right? Like he's like the voice, one of the voices. But dude, you're right. Like he's like, you don't even know if it's a big play. You don't know if it's just a normal play. Like you can't tell because he doesn't change his voice.
Oh man,
dude, like him and Dungy will put your ass to sleep. And I love Tony Dungy. And I love his takes. I love his knowledge. But damn, dude, like I like Tirico, man. Like he did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah.
So I look forward to having him on more broadcasts.
Hell yeah, man, for sure.
I don't know what they got to pay, man, but get Gus Johnson back calling the NFL games, man.
Yeah.
He got a lot of energy for those college games.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And then lastly, man, Mr. Brady went out last night in great fashion.
Thank the Lord.
31-14.
Oh, loved it. From beginning, there was like no sync in that team whatsoever.
None.
The running game was shot. It's like no one was really trying. I don't know. To me, that's what it seemed like. There was that Mike Evans and Tom Brady connection that was so lethal in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year. They regained some of that, towards the end. Also, just wasn't there. Period. It was like this guy wasn't even hitting the mark. Playoff Lenny, like he likes to call himself, was a shell of himself. That run game was absolutely nothing, man. So hey, you know what? all good things come to an end, and I'm glad that he may be out of the NFC South, and Tampa Bay might be taking that back seat also, because let's face it, man, what do they got next year? Tom Brady doesn't come back for them. They didn't do themselves any justice by bringing in a Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask from Florida. They might be in the market too for a quarterback. And I know we've all heard the rumblings, Jimmy G and Derek Carr and all these other players and stuff like that. What do they do next? I really don't care. I want my Falcons to just come up on top. That's all that matters to me.
Exactly. And if he doesn't come back, I think I saw was a $30 million dead cap hit.
Yes.
On Tampa.
Yes.
You poor bastards.
Sorry. Quack, quack, quack.
About time. I saw they got rid of Leftwich too, man.
Yeah, dude, Leftwich, I don't think he even had a chance to eat dinner last night before he was fired.
They cut Leftwich like they. I'm like, dang.
Like that was already going to happen. But from what Brady sounded like at the end of that press conference, it pretty much sounded like he was done at least with Tampa.
Right.
Who knows? I've heard Raiders, I've heard Dolphins. Who knows where he might end up?
I've heard San Fran. Don't make much sense, but
who knows?
He could come back up to New England up here. Who knows?
That's possible.
It's possible.
I mean, I just like you said, get him the hell out of the NFC South, man. I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I'm tired of this shit, man.
Yeah, but man, watching that Dallas defense, man, like
playing.
So I love Kyle, man, but damn it, every time I see Micah Parsons out there doing his thing, man, I'm like, it would be nice to have that dude on defense right now. No, you're absolutely right. And Smitty and I, we talk about this all the time. I think you've been part of a segment where we talked about it. It's like, sure, Kyle Pitts is there, all-world tight end, sure. But Micah Parsons was right there too. And look what he's wreaking. Look what he's doing. First 2 years, over 20-something sacks already. This dude's unbelievable, man. This dude's unbelievable. More than our entire team almost.
Yeah. Just him alone, man.
Stupid. Yeah, I think we got 21 this year.
Yeah.
Which was up 3 from last year. So
setting the world on fire. I know. And you know what's funny? He's kind of made Dexter Lawrence the forgotten man on that defensive front there. Like as great as Lawrence has been on his own without, Micah Parsons, it's like he took not just a backseat, but way in the back now, because you don't even really teams still are going to account for them. Of course, you always strategize to take out the team's best players and stuff like that, but they just go at him.
Yeah. And
it's like the respect factor that used to be there is no longer there. So it's crazy. Who knows? Hey,
so
could be a guy in the chopping block next year too. Yeah. Oh, this year.
Yeah.
We take him.
Julio caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
Looks like a shell of himself out there, man.
I feel bad, man.
It's that time, man. It's time. I mean,
I think so, man.
Yeah. Gage, man, like, thank God he's okay.
Yeah, man.
That didn't even look like terrible on the field.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, then you kind of see the angle of the head, the way he got hit. Like, okay, it makes sense. But that was scary shit, man. Right after, 3 weeks after DeMar. I mean, like, that was not fun to see.
No, man.
Glad he's okay. But so yeah, that creates a matchup now, man. Like for us, I don't know, Kevo, how old are you, buddy?
I'll be 30 this year, man.
Okay, so you're close.
Close
like
enough.
those 90s San Francisco Dallas matchups, man. Like I remember that growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be that to me. Like this weekend, like that 49er Dallas game is going to be like the one, man.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game, man. It's historic. Yeah, Charles Haley.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that guy was a monster.
Was it the catch that was pronounced in that game? The tight end towards the back of the end zone. Was that the matchup? I mean, I'm speaking like this without really knowing the game.
I think that was the Bengals. Actually, might have been the Super Bowl.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Could have been.
87 Clark, right?
Clark, yeah, Dwight Clark. Dwight Clark.
Yeah. Then you got T.O., man, on the star there in Dallas.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, man. So I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about Shanahan. I still have my dislike for him. Like it's two-sided. Like I appreciate the hell out of him of what he did for our offense that year, because we don't make the Super Bowl without him, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way. But I also can't stand his ass for just not reeling in his ego and running the ball 3 freaking times and kicking a field goal and icing the game. So that's kind of where I am with him. You know what I mean? And the fact that he was like out the door before the the confetti hit the ground, he was on the flight to San Francisco.
Yeah, he already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other side, you got our head coach, our old head coach coaching the defense. So I'm not sure where I'm going to side on that one, man. Probably 49ers. Because the Cowboys, I just, I can't do it. But
I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And sorry to anybody in the comments if you're
Mama
chiming in.
Sorry, Mama Cottrell. I know that you are a huge Cowboys fan, and I hope you continue to watch us. I know Mike's not here to defend you.
But I want Dan Quinn to hopefully get one. He's been through a lot of crap. Shanahan, for me, like you mentioned, ego. I don't know if you ever saw how he relived those last minutes in the Super Bowl where Devontae Freeman missed that tackle. That was a design play for Aldrick Robinson in the slot, knowing damn well that they were going to send everything at you because it was a third down. Yeah. Why would you throw the ball at that pivotal point, at that point in time, knowing, like you mentioned, just run the ball, boom, get some yardage. Devontae Freeman was running hot. Even, goddamn it, Tevin Coleman too.
Yeah,
kick the field goal would have been boom. We would have been in the history books. But because of the way he explained it, furthered my hatred for Kyle Shanahan. That's why I don't like Kyle Shanahan, because of that fucking scenario.
100%. And it took him years to admit that he would do it differently.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't even say anything until like maybe a year or two ago. Like, yeah, I think I'd probably do it over again. I would do it. Well, dude, thanks. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, that's going to be like this weekend's games, man. I mean, just looking at the divisional matchups. So we're going to have KC and Jaguars, which is going to be an interesting game at 4:30, and then on Saturday, then we got the Philly and Giants divisional matchup. We got the Bengals and Bills. It's going to be, I mean, all 4 games, man. Like really, really good games. So looking forward to each one of them. Next year, hopefully, we'll be in one of them.
Shit.
Hold up. Oh, shit. It's popping over to the chat here. Kerry said,
no doubt.
Congrats on 200. Appreciate you, Kerry. Wishing a lot of growth to 23. Yes, we're going to keep on going. Trust me.
Hell yeah.
Miss Bridget said, glad Tom Brady got kicked out of the playoffs. Thanks, Cowgirls. Y'all next. Yes, I agree. Tom looked awful. He needed to retire. Yes, he did not look like himself. I think he had, 60-some odd attempts last night? Like, it was – he still threw for 300 and something. It's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, just crazy. Man, Larry said Herbert equals Matt Ryan 2.0. Damn, what y'all say about that?
Wow. Damn, Larry. Wow. Can't argue.
He's definitely more mobile than him.
Yeah. And probably definitely more arm strength. Well, he just said it now. Great arm, and we'll have all the stats. But yeah, that butt is probably, the athletic ability that he has versus what Ryan, showed. So yeah. Man.
Yeah, I mean, because it's tough to say. And I mean, when we did the show with the Bolt Bros earlier this year, like they were, I think, the most injured team in the league this year.
They were, yeah,
including Justin, because he got his ribs like smashed in earlier in the season, I think against the Chiefs. And so it was like I think it took almost 10 weeks for his full receiving core to play together on the field together. So that's, I mean, for Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and by the way, Staley playing Mike Williams in week 18 was ridiculous. Like, dude,
yes, it was.
I mean, like, you're lucky you didn't lose your job for that. I mean, but
true.
So I mean, I'm going to reserve judgment on Justin until he's got his full, his full repertoire at hand, because he's seriously talented dude. But yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it not really came through for him.
Hey, John, sorry to interrupt. Can you send that link to Smitty right quick? I'm having a hard time just doing that.
I will. Kerry said, I love that comeback from the Jags. What a second half performance by Lawrence.
Yeah.
Having that bad first after that's what's most impressive to me, is you just completely put that out of his head and went after it. They then celebrated at Waffle House after the game. One of us. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Kerry said, yeah, that Chargers bad karma for Waffle House post, so I don't feel bad. Yeah.
Before I judge him, though, man, I picked Sean Payton to go over there. I'd like to see what Herbert can do with Sean Payton. I want to know what you guys think about that. I think that's just with Kyler, too. But we're going to stay with Herbert. But they need serious – I'm not disrespecting Staley, but they need serious, well-known coaches with a pedigree.
Well, they talked about it, man. They just the fact that they've hired their last 3 coaches have been first-time head coaches.
Yep.
Staley being a defensive-minded guy, and then Lombardi just not being a good play coach. Look, we just talked about him, Daniel Jones. Look what the difference, man, you can make with the guy that knows how to set an offense around a QB.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got to be whatever offensive coordinator they bring in, because like I said, Staley's lucky he wasn't fired. So, I mean, he's got that opportunity now. Like this, he has to hit on this OC, and so whatever they bring in, you'll have to be able to utilize Justin the way that he should be able to, because it's going to be, the next year will be his last year if he doesn't get that fixed, without a doubt. Let's see. Bridget said Herbert is so blah, no kind of facial expressions. He seems quiet and need to pump his energy up. I agree. Like, you don't see much from him. It's kind of a, he's just kind of there.
He's a tough kid, man. He's a tough kid. I like him, man. Yeah, sure. All these facial expressions and stuff like that, but the boy can ball, man.
No, he can.
He could definitely ball, man.
He can. Sorry, I'm just sending this over to Smitty
at
the moment.
No doubt.
And let's see. The native, what's going on? He said people on Twitter really want Lamar. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a few minutes. Dixon Way said if Arthur Blank was going to give the Texans 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, they will have Lamar in the bins next season. It's a business first and foremost, Falcons fans.
I've been on record before just getting blasted. Fans don't win games. Yeah, fans don't win games. But tell that to an owner who is on the hook for paying that illustrious stadium. You put ass in seats, that's assets coming into the building. That's revenue. That's all that. It's a business at the end of the day, man. So a guy of that, of that magnitude, the Benz will probably sell out every home game, man.
Oh yeah,
every home game.
No doubt about that. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Hey, real quick, there he is. What's going on,
Smitty?
Ain't going on but the rent over here, man. Y'all know how it is.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on, brother. Appreciate you, man. I was telling the guys, Mike had a transmission blowout on him, so
wow,
he's waiting on a tow truck at the moment. But we keep getting comments, but we can just jump on into the Lamar talk because Ghost Pepper said Benjamin Albright says he expects the Falcons to be at the front of the line. That seems more like a guess and not actual insight. Yeah, so I listened to I don't know if y'all had a chance to listen to Aaron Freeman's pod on Locked On about he's very much against bringing Lamar here, and he gave his whole pod was about the reasoning for that, and I've kind of went back and forth in my head about it. Like it's totally dependent on how they go about it and how they franchise them. So if they put there's 2 tags they can put on them. They can put an exclusive franchise tag on them. They can put a non-exclusive franchise tag on them. So if they put a non-exclusive tag and the team chooses not to match the deal, they'll receive 2 first-round picks. So in that case, I think, the Falcons would probably do that, And then you look at the other thing like, you could probably look at they're going to want the Ravens are going to want similar to what the Browns got. The trade with Deshaun, and also what Russell got. Like it's going to be, and that's the thing. Like he's going to want the guaranteed money, no doubt about it. Like because I think he turned down the first offer, which was $250 with 130 guaranteed. I think is what it was.
Yeah,
but he wanted it all guaranteed. So I think their owner said without a QB you believe in. Without a QB you believe in, life stinks as an NFL owner and as a fan base. Ravens owner Steve Biscotti said, we appreciate him. All I know is that his teammates love him. The front office loves him. So it's like, you just keep doing you, Lamar, and we'll make it work. So,
damn.
I mean, this is all coming from an article on by Jacob K-Maker on the Sporting News. So it seems like their full intention, their desire is to keep him. The question is, does he want to stay now? Because he put out that social media post. It seemed kind of like,
but
he was kind of put out by it.
If it was their desire to keep him, how did we get to this point? He won an MVP in his second season. After his third season, you could have signed him to a long-term deal that wasn't Patrick Mahomes, that wasn't nowhere near that, and you would have saved money. But you kept letting quarterback get contracts. It's about 5 high-dollar quarterbacks that got contracts before him. If he gets his contract before those guys, we're not even having this conversation.
Right.
You're not looking at 250, 300. You probably looking at 175 at the most.
Poof.
So I mean, it's their fault that it happened. And to be honest, I don't really think they care at this point. Because like I said, when Ozzie Newsome retired, he lost all the leverage he had. I don't care if he had an agent or not. Ozzie Newsome brought him there with intent to make him a superstar. And when your cornerbacks out and you ain't got nobody behind you, it's just you against them, and they're gonna take their word every time.
Yeah, so I mean, their basic options are. I mean, it looks like they're probably going to tag him one way or the other. It's just a matter of which way they choose to go. And
man,
yeah. So if he's tagged, if they do an exclusive tag, which is basically gives teams exclusive negotiating rights with a tag player. If the tag player rejects the contract offer, they are unable to sign with another team. So they take the risk of either really pissing him off and having him play there with Baltimore. I mean, pissed off is a relative term. You're going to be still be making a ton of money for 1 year, but still, is his head going to be in it? You know what I mean? So like, or if they just get irritated with him in the whole negotiation process, they may do the non-exclusive tag, which will allow other teams to come in and compete for him and see, and because it makes more sense for them to actually do that, because then they'll see how other teams value him as a quarterback. So like they may say like, he may come in, the Jets may come in, whoever in the market for him, and see how they're going to drive the price up. They may be like, shit, we're out. You know what I mean? They may call it a day. Like I said, he would definitely put asses in the seats. I also think Wendy will put asses in the seats, regardless of the player. And we've seen that over the years too. I mean, it's not like Matt was exactly Matt was really good, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting about Matt. You know what I mean?
Right. Dynamic. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing dynamic about him. I mean, like Lamar is going to be like the second Michael Vick type of thing. I mean, you're going to see 8 jerseys everywhere, and
oh my god,
it would be insane.
Well, Kyle Pitts got number 8. He would have to get that up.
You're right.
Oh
yeah. You're right.
You could just imagine what a first down is going to look like. Everybody in that stadium is probably going to be on their feet just to see the wow in that and how he gets the first down, man. So yeah, there is definitely going to be asses in that stadium.
Oh yeah, and the last thing from the article was they said if the Ravens do look to trade Jackson, they'll probably slap him with the exclusive franchise tag. Why? Because this would prevent him from signing a contract with another team, which could complicate or limit any potential trade that Baltimore could pursue. Additionally, the Ravens would look to do that because they would want to maximize their return for Jackson.
Of course,
they would probably want to get at least 3 first-round picks.
Wow, that's steep, man.
But in the trade for Jackson, that gives him just 26 and an MVP season under his belt. So sure, you can make the case that his health and impending payday could drive down the offer. Still, the fact of the matter is that 3 first-round selections is the going rate for a top-tier quarterback. So
let me add this right quick, and I meant to say this a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
the reason why I know this is going to go south faster is because what are the Ravens known for? Defense.
Yeah.
They run the ball more than anything. They don't have to have a mobile quarterback to do that. So what they're going to do, they're going to take those first-round picks, keep building on their defense. Maybe they can find a veteran quarterback, or maybe they draft one. Who knows? If they get one in the package for whoever they send him to. And if they get Zach Wilson, I'm going to just die laughing.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
They don't care because it's not their identity. A quarterback is not their identity. Their identity is defense. So they're going to always go with their strength and not with, the crowd pleaser. So that's just the way they're looking at it.
I don't know if it's a perfect example, but when they won the Super Bowl, who they have? Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer couldn't really cut, he couldn't throw. The identity has always been the defense. So to Smitty's point, definitely.
Yeah, man. We'll get, and we've talked about, I think we've kind of mentioned it before on each other's shows about this, any contract negotiation, like especially the player doesn't want to be anywhere near that, because the team is going to bring everything bad about you and everything negative about you out in those negotiations to the agent. So like in baseball, for instance, arbitration, there's been a few players over the years that went to their arbitration hearing and left just thinking they're the worst baseball player that ever lived, because like, those teams, and that's their job, is that because they're saying, well, this guy's this, and this. So I'm gonna bring this up because this is something that we all have our own love-hate, right, with PFF, right? Because it's just it's a odd grading system, but they're all graded on the same scale, right? That's the one thing you can kind of refer to. So let me get this tab up. So can y'all see this? Can y'all see this on there?
No.
No, not yet.
Dang. Okay, hang on. There we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Can y'all see that, or is that too small?
I mean, we're good. I'm good.
We good.
I just enlarge the screen. I can see it.
You can't see it?
I can see it. Yeah, I can see
Okay, all right. So you look at Lamar, they're number 5 as far as PFF rating, 85.2. Look right below him, man. Jacoby Brissett, 82.6. And these numbers damn near match each other.
Oh, my God.
Both playing 12 games. Okay. He's got more passing yards. I mean, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying, like, this shit's going to come up because they're going to look and say, man, look, you got, I mean, this is a guy, Andy Dalton just below him, Tua, Geno Smith, Tom Brady,
even Jalen Hurts above Lamar.
Jalen Hurts above him.
Jesus,
the top three, you can kind of figure, okay, yeah, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, easy enough. But yeah, Jalen being up there, so and again, like I'm not saying that's
wow.
Yeah.
But they will use that.
They will use
some metric system like that. They will, like you mentioned, just to bring out the ugly side of this all. Yeah,
they're gonna say, "Hey, wow, Jacoby did the same thing you did. What's he getting paid?"
Yeah,
I mean, I know you had an MVP, but I mean, it's just teams are going to do whatever they can that's going to benefit them. So
of course
they're out for them, and that's that. So, but
how much of this does Lamar want out of Baltimore? Because he's probably upset still that he hasn't gotten his money. He has to wait until his final year to get his money. He already put in the work. Yeah. He's brought you to championship games. He's won MVPs, like you guys have mentioned. So how much of this is Lamar just wanting to go into the offseason and say, yo, I'm done. Whatever y'all gonna do, I'll be there for that. But I'm going.
Think about what just happened the other day. They gave Roquan Smith $20 million a year.
After half a year.
Yep.
That's coming out of Lamar pockets. So
hell yeah.
So I mean, it's no turning
back. Half a year.
Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, they know they're going to get 2 first-round picks, no matter who they trade into. Yeah, that will give them 2 this year, 2 next year, or they can find a quarterback by then. If not, they'll stick with Huntley, bring in a rookie, and they'll just keep trucking along.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go around, man. So, Alberto, how are you feeling about it right now? What would you do?
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot. God damn it. No, it's all good. It's all good. I got a different perspective on it, man. I just think differently. I go to this. I parallel this situation to what Atlanta would have done obtaining Deshaun Watson. So that puts us in the ball field or the ballpark for Lamar Jackson. I'd say yes to it. I always figure, the situation that comes to mind is the Mike Vick, Matt Schaub situation. We had Mike Vick, and we flipped Matt Schaub for a second rounder. We get Lamar. We let Ritter, mature in his own way, and then flip him eventually. That's the way I look at it, a business way of looking at it. So that way, Atlanta still keeps the integrity of having picks, even though they mortgaged a lot of them. But there's a different way of getting some of that compensation back, and it starts with Ritter. I mean, I'm not knocking Ritter. I don't want to sound like I am. I think the world of Ritter. I think that with the right pieces, he can do some good things in Atlanta. But this is an organization that's been, at the bottom, so to say, for 5 or 6 years. It's time for Atlanta to make a significant jump, and I thought they would have done that this year, but obviously things worked out differently. But going into next year, how crippled everybody else is in the division, it just seems like the time is right to just make it a game-changing move to propel Atlanta to where they need to be. So I'm on board for the Lamar Jackson situation. Absolutely.
Kevo, what say you, buddy?
Man, I would say either way, man, I'm fine. If you want to build around Ritter, I understand. If you want to go with Lamar, I just say have a plan. Yeah. Like Berto said, man, we've been down in the dumps for a while. He will certainly bring excitement. And, I've been going back and forth like the last 2 weeks with guys with Twitter. Some respected Falcon content makers. and some random people. And I've been saying, dude, if we go for Lamar, they're not just going to as far as the cap, they're not going to let him eat up the cap in one year, dude. They just got out of cap hell. There's no way they're going to get him and then just ruin the cap after one move. And we did see the rumors of us getting Deshaun Watson last year. You had veterans like
with no money,
and with other guys
with no money
already looking to say, "Hey, I'll come."
Yeah,
so, if you do make the move, just have a plan. But
yeah.
I mean,
and,
honestly,
we didn't have a double bubble and mint wrap last year, so
I mean, piece of gum, yeah. I mean, like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I get it, man.
Oh shit. Yeah, man.
Smitty, what you say, buddy?
If I'm Lamar, man, I'm just go in there and talk to the front office. Force a trade. I mean, you slapped me in the face shit multiple times. I should have had a contract, and ain't nothing else y'all can do for me. Y'all just paid somebody ahead of me, took money out of my pocket, and let's be real about it. I don't care what nobody say. If he controlling what's going on in the playoffs, he already made his decision that he gonna leave, and they know it already, but they can't tell the media that because it'll be a hailstorm. Right. So it's just time to go.
Yeah, I mean, when it initially came out, like I was totally against it, And I'm not totally for it yet, but I'm kind of with you, Kevo. I'm kind of like, I really don't care. I mean, like I want, like you said, I want them to have a plan. I'm good with it either way. If they think Ritter's the dude and they want to build around him, okay, great.
Yeah,
we never actually built like the trenches like we should have. We've got some. In Arthur's offense, you don't necessarily need like a magician back there playing quarterback. You need somebody that's competent, that can make throws we need to make. And you got to take into account if it's 3 first-round picks like that. I really that third one hurts. Like 2, maybe so, but like 3 is that's a lot of talent. You're giving up. And if you do, and the only thing if you pay a contract like that too, and it makes your talent evaluators and your scouts jobs even more important because then they've got to hit on those draft picks. Like you can't miss anymore on a second rounder. You can't miss if you're not getting those first round picks, you're going to have to hit on those other ones. And you're making those free agent signings. Those free agent signings, they can't be no like, I mean, what was it under? We can't have no Ray Edwards situation.
Oh my God!
Like we got
Steve's favorite player.
That name is forbidden in that letter.
Facts.
Man. It amplifies all those other parts of the team because you can't. I mean, it's been seen over the years. Even that you can throw a great quarterback into a crappy team and he's still going to win. You know what I mean? So like you can still have to build up everything else. But all that being said, man, I don't think Terry is an idiot, like Kevo said. Like I don't think he's just going to throw all the money out the window and say, "Hey, we're going to give it all to you." Take into account the cap's going up every year.
Thank you.
It's just going to. I feel like if they think Lamar is going to be it, and you also think about this, I showed you all those stats on Lamar. What receivers has he ever really worked with?
Thank you.
Nothing.
And if you're gonna give other quarterbacks a pass for that same reason, I don't know why Lamar doesn't get the same talk.
Facts.
Because I mean, you hear a lot of trash on Lamar. Like, dude, I mean, like he's doing the best. His best weapon's a tight end. It has been for the last 2 years.
For real. At one point was Willie Snead.
What the fuck is
Willie Snead, yo.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So
he had better look throwing one of the cheerleaders, man. I'm gonna just be real, John.
Yeah, but John, I just want to just bring something back up. Like you mentioned, the cap is going up. But here's the other wonderful part. What significant free agents do we have up and coming? We can argue that it's Lindstrom this year. We can make an argument that it's AJ Terrell. Now, these are just one guys.
Yeah.
Next year. The year after that, year 3, there's really no significant, free agent that's up for a massive contract. So, shit. and so there is going to be money. So, dealing, Lamar Jackson or dealing whatever picks, it's not going to handicap this organization. And Terry is a very smart man. And he knows that there's way of structuring contracts. Some of it's so much front loaded, or you play, for, let's say, $5 million this year. Incentives bring you up to whatever, the market is. And then the next year and the year after, they can play it that way. So they could probably finesse it and make it so it's so goddamn affordable, but yet we can still compete. Kind of like what Kansas City has done with Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? And I think there was a gentleman on Uncle Steve's show, and credit to him, Amani. He mentioned that money that you have there, you're financing off of that. He broke it down beautifully, because every year that you need money, you restructure off of that contract, and you bring assets back into your pockets, making, you able to, compete within that calendar year. So, but let me just say this too. Shout out Armani Bledsoe for that, because that was a great piece of knowledge he dropped on Uncle Steve's lounge the other day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, and you, like you said, I mean, like if that's the route they want to go, then Terry knows he's like his job is he's married to Lamar. Like that's going to be whether he keeps his job. Same with Arthur. Like, so if y'all make that decision, that means you really, really, really feel like he's the piece. You know what I mean? And I'm going to lie, man. It's enticing to think about him and Algier and Kyle Pitts, and Drake London, and whoever else we might have as a receiver.
And think about, like we talked about, John. What if they can get Jamar Gibbs in the second round?
Oh my God, dude! I mean,
Stop, man. Stop. Let's fucking go, man. And you can't help but to get fucking excited, man. For real, man.
Like,
what a dynamic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I went from totally hell no to like, shit, I'm okay with it if they do it. But I'm not going to cry either way, man. Like, I just want them to have a decision. I just want them to have a plan and just buy into it and go for it. If that's Lamar, man, like, okay, I'll get my 8 jersey and let's ride. You know, I mean, like, so, I mean, we'll see what happens. But Kerry said, I said on Twitter, I don't want Lamar today. And I just got a reply that said that the Falcons are 2 decades behind and we can't win without a top 10 QB. That's not true.
Man.
I mean, we're not. That's the thing. We had 7 wins with this roster. I mean, like, come on. I mean,
think about it. Think about this though. With what we had the last 2 years, you bring in a top tier cornerback, a top tier safety. You add on to what they got now, a top tier defensive lineman. Falcons would easily be 10-7. That's just how quick it can turn around.
Absolutely. Dude, we could have been that this year.
Right. 3 players could have made a difference.
Yeah.
So we need, and I mean, I think the only difference is this year we didn't have the talent to overcome some of Arthur Smith's play calling.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, sometimes like I said, I'm not hating on Arthur, but we all know his situational shit has not been really good this year. So and sometimes your talent can make up for that. But we just didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like, so some of the games that we just probably should have won, we just didn't. Good Pepper said Arthur Blank. Go ahead, bud.
One thing about Arthur, man, when the damn building catch on fire, just don't follow him because that's a bad situation.
I mean, and like you saw him getting better with calling plays for Desmond as those 4 games went on, because I think that first few games he's filling out Desmond. What is Desmond capable of doing? How's this going to work? So I think he's kind of like, I'll give him a pass on that, but we'll see how it goes. Ghost Pepper said Arthur Blank has an emotional connection with Watson, has been knowing him ever since he was a little child. Watson was a former ball boy for the Falcons, which explains him going after him. I do think it was probably more Blank than anything else.
Maybe
with that, but I mean, Terry still got to sign on for it though. They both have to sign on for it. Kerry said he says my scared model of the build the team first is why 5 or 6 team with a top 10 defense with no top 10 QB didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you look at that's
true.
Let's see. She said, I'm predicting the 49ers versus Bengals Super Bowl. Rooting for the Bengals to win it all.
Wow.
Good.
I got the 49ers in the Super Bowl actually too. So, I'm with them on that.
Uncle Steve, what's happening, brother?
Yeah, Uncle Steve.
He said, I'm so afraid we're mirroring the Daniel Jones situation where he blossoms late. Not sure if our fan base will be patient for better development. I know I'm not.
They won't. They won't.
Oh, hell no. They're not patient now.
Hell no, man.
No, dude, we got half the fan base calling Ritter a bum already. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, I mean, and it's not fair to him, but I mean, that's just what it is.
Had these fan when he waited in line at the stadium for a corn dog, they so impatient.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, it's we didn't get into the author and Terry's press conference, but even like Terry referenced Desmond and saying like when they were talking about the draft and like going to the Senior Bowl, like he said, we met him then and we liked the way. I mean, it was 2-minute just diatribe of how much they respected Desmond and his work ethic, how he handled himself as a backup, how he handled himself as a starter. Like it seems like they love Desmond as far as all the intangible stuff. Yeah. So it really just comes down to how they feel about him being able to run this offense, be able to take control of this offense. Because obviously, if y'all watch the mic'd up with him, the players, I mean, like he's a leader, man. Like he's got those qualities to him. So it's just really a matter of can he be that all the physical stuff, and then goes. I mean, it's a lot to ask of a second-year quarterback that's had 4 games. You know, so I mean, like if you're gonna ride with Ritter, then yeah, this draft better damn sure be impressive. And this free agents better damn sure be good because you're gonna need to elevate it around him to make it better. That's the only thing. So, I mean, like like I said, I'm kind of either way on it. But Scary said they need to pay Sam Hubbard a forever long deal. He's
for real.
He went to Ohio State.
For real, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a feel good for him right there. Seeing him do that touchdown, man.
He's still sucking on oxygen from that freaking down. He never read that far in his life, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Dixon Way said, Alberto, that's why you turned down Al Michaels and turned the Dixon Way all the way up.
Oh, there you go. That's the plug right there. Hell yeah, Larry.
Larry food.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Uncle Steve said, come on, baby face birthday boy. Give the Jared Talker a pass. Oh, shit.
Love you, Unc.
Carrie said, so happy Brady went out like that. Love to see it. They looked so defeated last night. Not sure why Lenny only got 5 men either. Their run game was non-existent.
None at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all got to remember too, man. They lost their whole offensive line, man.
Yeah.
So,
they just ain't playing right.
Be tough.
Yeah.
Dixon Way said, Larry said, last night proved the season should have been dedicated to developing Ritter from game 1 because Tampa was better than us and they got whooped. Our divisional race wasted Ritter's rookie season. Man, me and Mike have been talking about that before, man. It's just if they had ran away with the division, I think we would have saw Desmond probably week 7, week 8. You know? And but the fact that we were still in it, which you can debate all day long that Mariota was not doing anything to keep us in it. I mean, he might have been like not blowing it for us completely, but damn, he was damn sure not like winning us stuff, except for maybe one game for Carolina with his legs. They got us in the field goal range to win the game. But yeah. Oh, Mama Cottrell's in here. She said, Mama Cottrell's very happy. Let's go.
Shout out to Mom, man. Shout out to Mom.
She said, I would love to have Michael Parsons on defense, man. What a game changer he is. So good at getting to the QB. Yeah, man. Hindsight 2020. That's my pick at number 4 right there. I'm telling you.
That dude. And I said last night, a lot of people just don't see it. Maybe because they don't remember him. But he's the closest thing to Lawrence Taylor I've seen since Lawrence Taylor.
It really is, dude. And not to even like have the size. Like, you know what I mean? Like to have just the I'm not even comparing the two yet. Right? I mean, and I'm not even comparing the two yet, but like Will Anderson in Alabama. The dude's 235 pounds. You see the way he handles tackles?
Strong.
Like it's ridiculous. Man, like if he puts on 20 pounds, oh my God. Like, I mean, he'll
be dangerous.
Fucking dangerous, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I love Kyle to death, man. I got his jersey, but he probably would go back and take Micah if he's there. Larry said Jet Jones looked like a propeller plane. Haven't had the same.
God damn.
He stole up from Smitty's.
Ouch.
Wow. Haven't the same since he left Mac.
Man.
Yeah, it's time for him to go away, man. They said, thank you, Shanahan, for getting us to the Super Bowl with the play calling, and F. Shanahan for being cocky SOB and not running the ball. Man, my words exactly, buddy.
Exactly.
He said, I don't want Dan Quinn and Matt Ryan embrace the suck winning. Nope, I'm good. Yeah. I had all the t-shirt slogans I could take, man. I'm good. Matt Ryan gets all the blame for Super Bowl collapse. I blame Shanahan run the damn ball. Yep. She said, send Sean Payton to the Texans. Can't stay. He ain't going to the Texans.
He's that job if he go.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Other than, can I just say one thing? Other than today being a very significant day to the birth of me, January 17th, 1998 also brought great pride and joy to the Falcons organization as Warren Anderson kicked our way into the Super Bowl that year. You guys remember that?
Sure did, man. Today was the Vikings.
Yes, sir. Year to date.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to I'm about to cut out because I'm going to start my show.
Yes,
in
sir.
about 5
Yeah,
minutes.
man. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping in there, buddy.
No doubt.
Thank
man.
you, John. If you want to come through for a minute, you can. I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
and,
do that.
I'll switch over. I'll see y'all in a minute.
All right, bro. All right, John. Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Brother.
All right, Kev. See you soon, brothers.
All right, see y'all later.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, man. So D, what's going on, brother? He said, I say let's build around Ritter because he's the future of our franchise. We can get him one more weapon and also give him defense that will help along Grady. I see us being competitive next season. Yeah, I mean, that's the other side of it, right? I mean, it's either, yeah, I mean, and like I said, I didn't see anything from Desmond that scared me away from him. You know what I mean? Like nothing was like, oh shit, he can't do it, you know? But you know, that's the key is getting a wide receiver too, which we got to get, whether it's in the draft or by free agent, whichever way they want to go with it. And sharing up the defense. Cause I mean, offensive best friend is a good defense, man. Keep them off the field. She said, Carrie, I'm not surprised by this image John is showing. I will use that not to bring out the ugly, but when they have so many holes on our team, I'm happy to see Ritter building around him. Yeah. Yeah. She said, but Alberto, don't you think a lot of that chasing Watson became Arthur? Yeah, it was Arthur Blank. I mean, I think there's because it just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, I think he probably called him up and they're like, what, really? So
that was Jerry Jones-esque. Like,
it really was.
You want to go do that.
It really was, which was surprising. I mean, knowing what he just came off of, like that was kind of surprising because like Arthur Blank doesn't seem like that type of dude, but I think he, like Smitty and those guys have said before, he's a businessman though. So like he's going to try to make those decisions for the business. Oh, yeah, so I get it. Miss Pamela, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Carrie said, good news is I trust Terry. So I think if we really go after Lamar, we'll have a plan. Exactly.
That's all I want to see.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you never know what you're going to get with picks because we see first round picks bust all the time. You know, it's just the thought of like, you see all the talent come out, you know what I mean? Each year in the draft, and you're like, damn, you know what I mean? Like it would suck not to have those picks. But if you're getting the return on the field, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Definitely. If folks are, if we're winning games, we're going to the playoffs, nobody's going to care about it. But if for some reason that doesn't happen, then yeah, I mean, Terry's fired, Arthur's fired, and then we start all over again, man. So I don't know. See, Reggie was Smitty, Red and Black Nation. What's going on, Reggie? Larry said we have a better wide receiver core than Baltimore right now. That's facts, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say though, the Jets and my dream scenario, if not us, I would like to see Lamar go to Miami. But the Jets make sense. It's just, both teams are in the AFC. Yeah. Of course, they're going to avoid sending them, keeping them in the AFC. Mm-hmm. But the Jets and especially Miami, man. Lamar with that team.
Oh my God, Tyreek and Waddle and
Gesicki.
Oh man, yeah. He's in a good spot, man. Because like I said, if whichever tag they put on him, I mean, the Ravens are just fine because they're going to figure out they're going to either gobble up picks, or they're going to have him for one more year. If no team comes at it. So I mean, either way, they're going to be just fine. They're in a good spot. Reggie said, I'd rather have top 10 defense than playing $42 million a quarterback that's injury prone. Yeah, I mean, but you know what? I think he played 16 games his first season, I think 15 and then 12 and 12. So it's not like he's missing a ton of games. And I think some of that too is due to kind of what he's had to do you know what I mean? Like I think if he comes to an offense where he has better receivers, he has a better running back, better offensive line, that he's possibly not making those decisions. He's making more business decisions, like not taking the hits he's taken, but is the type of dynamic athlete he is. I mean, all it takes is one wrong cut on turf and his knee's gone, and I mean, that's not his fault, but I mean, that's just, you've seen it happen too many times. Carrie said, agreed, Reggie, thank you. Build the trenches. Would love to have good defense for once that complements the explosive run game on the offense. Ritter will be fine with Pitts and London for much cheaper. Yeah, I think Aaron talked about it today or yesterday on a Locked On. The difference in paying Lamar 40 to 50 a year and paying Ritter literally like $1 million. I mean, it's like a $40 to $50 million extra you have to spend, in other pieces, So I mean, and the fact is, man, and as well as I do, we've never built from the trenches. Like we've ignored it. We ignored it. Even with Matt, You know, we piece it together. You know, we bring guys like off the scrap heap. We drafted Peter Collins, which was a disaster. You know, like the defense. I mean, the best line we had was when Babineau was there.
Yeah,
we had the one good year, and that was it. I mean, so it's like we've never really built from the inside out like some of the like really good teams do. So you'd like to see that once, you know. But I mean, it would happen the year that Lamar's potential, because if Lamar's not a free agent, we're not even having this discussion, man.
it's tempting.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. Wallace, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Let's see. Reggie said if we run the ball in a Super Bowl, we have a trophy and flower branch. Bottom line, man.
Agreed.
Bottom line. He said Larry said Derek Thomas or LT are the comps of Micah Parsons. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm curious how much John and Kevo. Honestly, I'll support Lamar, of course, and if it will sell tickets, but I'll only be happy if we do it smart and improve the defense. Above all, I just want to win and no cap hell again. Yeah. And you know what? And a lot of the cap hell too. Some folks pin it solely on Matt, and that really wasn't the case. It was the fact that Dimitroff and whoever kept pushing money down the road, and they kept like extending folks. Like they extended Julio before they had to. You know, they paid Devontae. I mean, they should never. That contract blew me away that they actually did that with with the way he ran. Like, come on, man. But it was just it wasn't necessarily. They have to be smarter with the cap and how they, like we said earlier on the show, how they move these funds around. And I do think Terry will be smarter with that. He came from New Orleans, where they're in cap hell now. And so you kind of see a way of how to do things and how not to do things. So, you know, hopefully he learned from that. Kerry said, I would love to see Lamar go to Miami. Plus, he's a Florida boy, so I think he would love that too.
Agreed.
Yep. And Reggie said no more bargain shopping for players at Goodwill. Nope.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many guys on 1 year and 2 year deals, you know, that some guys are going to bring back. You know, Evans will probably be back, I would think, at a good price. Carter, you bring back at a good price. You know, those are all solid pieces, and then you just add into it with if we say we don't get Lamar, we have a lot of draft picks this year. So I mean, that's just going to keep building it up. I'm going to see said Lamar's dominating the headlines, but would either of you two entertain the idea of Derek Carr, Jimmy G, if the LJ train passes on? I'm going to say hell no to Derek Carr.
Steve, I saw that contract for Derek Carr.
Yeah. I can understand paying it to Lamar. I cannot pay it to Derek. I cannot. I just, you know, and maybe that's, I don't know what that is. Jimmy G, I wouldn't say no. I mean, he's another guy. It's like, that's a tough one, dude. Like, he's not a bad quarterback. You put him in the right system. I don't know that he's a good fit doesn't have quite the mobility, you know what I mean, that Arthur Smith probably likes. But I mean, price wise, he's probably okay. Regardless, you know what? I mean, if there's no Lamar, we're bringing in a vet anyway. Yeah, you know, to whether it's to push him or not, you know. And I mean, you know, Uncle Steve, I saw on y'all's show yesterday talking about there was nobody pushing Matt the entire time he was here. You know, and I don't necessarily think that Matt had the mentality that he needed to be pushed. I don't think that Desmond has a mentality, but that's just competitive nature, right? I mean, if you've got a guy that you know could take your job at any minute, I mean, yeah, you're gonna be forced to play better. But that's also the reason you don't see high quality backups, because they'd be starters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Schaub and Matt Ryan was the closest thing you had, because Schaub got his ass paid in Houston. But like, you don't see quarterbacks typically, or teams typically with two just really, really good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like, it's either one or the other. You have a good quarterback, and the drop off to your backups pretty substantial. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's just you get lucky in a draft or you find a good free agent. But we'll see. Wallace said Baltimore's not going to just let Lamar get out of the building. In worst case, they could franchise tag him, which would be a long process. Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that makes sense for them to do. But we would have never been in the cap hell if it wasn't for the COVID year when they lowered the cap money, and this was not all on the Dimitroff. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely affected it. But you know, he did those deals. Reggie said a big hell no to Derek Carr.
Yes.
Kerry said Brady to the Raiders, Carr to the Bucks, Lamar to the Jets, or Miami. Man, yeah, all that could happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I would also say, instead of Jimmy G, I would take a hard look at Jimmy G, but Tannehill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cry about that.
Me either. I mean, you got the Arthur Smith connection. You ran the offense well there. Makes sense. I joked. I mean, I was semi-joking earlier in the season, but, man, I mean, somebody like shit, man, my mind just went blank. In Philly, Captain Mustache up there. You know what I mean? Like back in Minshew. I mean, like I don't mean he could run. I think he's got enough mobility and everything to run the offense just in case there was an injury to Ritter or something like that.
Yeah.
And he might just, I mean, that way he performed in that game, I mean, he might just push Ritter, enough. I mean, and he'd be cheaper. I mean, if you're looking for a cheap backup, he'd be a cheap backup. Larry says, Steve, in my opinion, if we get Carr or Jimmy, that's a Band-Aid and a third-degree burn. It won't help the wounded heal his team. We want to make the playoffs, and it'll be a waste of Ritter the first 2 seasons. See, I don't think the fan base would be excited about either one of those guys.
No.
I think they'd be more excited about Ritter getting the second year, to be honest. And that it depends. Uncle C said, caveat, Carr only if he gets cut. No way I'd trade for that contract. Yeah, 15 to 20
I'm
million
on board.
only. Okay, I could see that more. Curious, I could see Tannehill because you love getting the Bears and Titans players, yeah, and also has a relationship with Art Smith, yeah, for sure. What do y'all think about Brissett backing up Ritter? I'm on 100%.
I'm on board with that.
I just showed y'all Ritter. I mean, Brissett's numbers last year. I mean, he could. Yeah. I mean, he played crazy good this last year. Can we get a Mr. Everything but irrelevant? Yeah, right. Yeah, that dude, man. I mean, it's going to be, like I said, man, it's going to be a fascinating offseason. I mean, and, like when we had the Falcoholic on, when Dave was on, he said this will be the most important offseason we've had in a decade, which no doubt about it. I mean, it's got to be with what we have. The money that we had to spend. I mean, only the Bears have more. And you look at the draft position, well, the Bears ain't going to draft, I mean, a quarterback. You know what I mean? So they're going to be either, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, that type of player more than likely. Probably now that Stroud's in the discussion, probably he and Young go before we pick. And I don't think we're picking a quarterback at all. I don't think that's going to happen. That's one thing I could not get behind at all, is going another rookie. You know what I mean? Like that just sets you back even more. I don't care that he's a first round talent. We see first round talents bomb out all the time. So like I'm not cool with restarting that clock all over again.
I'm a Buckeyes guy, but for this situation I would pass on CJ, man.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I mean,
not this time.
Yeah. No, I mean if you're the Colts, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Take CJ. You need a quarterback, you need a young quarterback. You can't keep doing a retread type thing. Go out there and get him. But yeah, I just can't I can't see us doing that. So that comes down to, we're going to go edge rusher. We're going to go potential wide receiver again. I mean, it's possible. I don't put anything past him, man. I really don't. And then the corner, you know what I mean? Like, I think getting a corner opposite of AJ, man, might be one of the most important things we could do to get a solid CB2. Yeah. And Casey Hayward said he wants to come back. But Casey Hayward is and he hasn't really had an injury history. This year just happened to be a freak injury when he went to the tackle and hurt his shoulder. So I don't know that that's how you want to ride with your CB2 next year. I think you really want to upgrade that position. What do you think about that?
I would definitely upgrade at cornerback too. I am in favor of Casey coming back, but I mean, just in case he gets hurt again.
Right.
Teams are so smart, man. It's like the only time they're going to pick on AJ is in that red zone. Mm-hmm. Like he's giving up a couple of those fade routes or back shoulders, but who doesn't give up the back shoulders? I mean, that's the hardest pass to defend.
It's impossible to freaking defend. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I with our lack of pass rush, no matter who we get, it's not going to just fix it like that.
Yeah.
But if we can get a better back end, man, that'll help out whoever we got rushing the passer so much more. Because those guys, I mean, they can't cover for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. I mean, it's like they do have to do sometimes. So I mean. Mm-hmm. And plus, AJ don't get thrown out as much because he doesn't have to be thrown out as much. So, you probably bring back Oliver on a pretty cheap deal, and so, I mean, I'm excited, man. I think it's, regardless of how we go, if we get Lamar, man, the whole city's gonna be set on fire. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I'll be on board. But I mean, if we don't, then, I'm okay with it. And we'll end with this, man. On their press conference, they talked about the defense, and Terry said Arthur knows what he wants in the defense. He did reference the Ravens defense and how they basically have these hybrid player approach, and like because we were all wondering like, well, we're going to, with Pease leaving, we're going to stick to the 3-4. We're going to go to the 4-3. How's that going to work? And we've talked about it before on the show. Like we've got players that they can play both really. I mean,
Right.
like Grady's not a 3-4 D tackle, I mean,
Really not.
if we're going to stay in 3-4, then we got to get a 3-4 D tackle. I mean, like we're going to, and where teams nowadays with such a pass heavy league, you're not in your base defense very often. So, I mean, like you're in nickel a lot, you're in dime a lot. So, I mean, it's how often are you going to be, in that set? So you look at all those factors. And so, it makes you think like, as far as free agency, Jesse Bates comes to mind. Obviously we talked about him before, but I mean, he doesn't matter what system he's in, he's going to be just fine. I mean, you're looking at the draft, somebody like Brian Branch from Alabama. I mean, like, can play up in the box, safety. He can cover. I mean, do everything. Like, if they want to stick to the hybrid type of player, I mean, which is great. I think that's a great approach because, I mean, I don't think you can pigeonhole yourself, or you don't. It's not the old days, man. You can't just run a 3-4 and have guys that can do that, because with the changes of the defense, with as much as the offensive part of the game is today, you got to have guys that can just kind of move around, to be honest, and be kind of interchangeable. Like Oliver, I mean, like, I know he wasn't drafted to be that way because he was drafted with the previous regime, but the dude's 6'1", 210 pounds. He's the size of most safeties.
He reinvented himself underneath DNP's game.
Really did. So I don't think they want to change too much off of that. So, I mean, the coordinator search, do you have a pick that you'd prefer, or just?
Man, I hate to jump on the train, man, because I try to be level-headed, but definitely it would be Brian Flores, man. Just to see what he did with Xavier Howard and Baron Jones. I would love to see I think he would get the most out of AJ and Richie.
Me too. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you good. Finish.
No, I wanted to ask you after this. Just give me two of your most sought after free agents that you would like us to go after.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be a broken record, but I mean, you can't not say Payne, right? I mean, you saw it. I mean, you're right up there. I mean, like I mean, what are you hearing up there? Are they really going to try to re-sign him?
Man, I've just talking to Commanders fans. I'm going to say Redskins, man. That's what I grew up on.
I still say it, dude. I still say Redskins.
That's what I grew up on, honestly. But I've seen some tug of war. I've read some articles, clicked on them. I think his name is JP Finley. Mm-hmm. He does like Comcast Sportsnet for the area, the DC area.
Yeah.
He wrote something to where like they said they would try to move on from Wentz's contract and retool that to try to re-sign Payne. But a lot of fans are talking like he's gone. It's like a desperation thing. Like, if we can move this around, I feel like by the time they do that shuffling, you got teams like us in Chicago. We have the money in hand.
Yep, I agree, man. So I think that's got to be 1A and Bates being 1B, man. I mean, because if you by chance get those two guys before Roquan signed, I really wanted Roquan.
Yeah,
because he revolutionizes your entire linebacking core at that point. He allows Anderson to just roam free and kind of do what he can do. Because I think, honestly, man, Anderson might be more productive as a pass rusher with his speed. If he can develop some because he's still so raw, man. And you saw him get on the field even so much this year and basically supplant Michael Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's like depending on what he does in his sophomore year, I mean, I can see him being utilized that way. Put on a few pounds, because you see him get bullied a little bit sometimes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, man, is you insert Bates, who can play that. I mean, that deep cover easily. He can come up to cover anybody. I mean, those two guys right there, man, your defense is instantly like legit, And then you go and draft a corner, a CB2, which you're going to have Christian Gonzalez out there, Cam Smith, South Carolina, Joey Porter Jr. I mean, you got. Homeboy from Utah, Clark Smith. I mean, like, so you're gonna have.
I got to check him out.
Yeah, he's one of our guys, Victor. I don't know if he's in here tonight or not, but he loves him. He's a Utah fan. Like he's like, I started watching. He's the only thing is he's about 5'10", but I went back and watched some film because he told me that he locked down London. Dude, he allowed London like one catch when they played against him in USC. Okay. So like he's pretty legit. So like I'd be fine with any of them. I mean, like. Christian is probably my favorite because he's 6'2" and he's just he's a beast as at a cornerback. But either way, man, I think I think that kind of free agent, like we've talked about all along. I mean, doing all the mock drafts now doesn't really do you any good. It's fun to play around with, but until we get the free agency period over with, because then we'll know kind of okay what direction we're going to go with. If we get Bates, okay, probably not going Brian Branch. You know what I mean? If we don't get Bates, that's a possibility. You know, because that's that Kyle Hamilton type of guy right there. So that's my two, I guess.
Okay.
Is that the same for you, or you got anybody else you're thinking about?
Those two, and I wouldn't mind if we can't get Bates. I still like just looking after that, maybe like Adrian Amos. But I would like to see them double dip up front, man. I mean, dude, I'm not even looking at how the front would fit. If you can get Payne and like David Amagnetos, just double dip. I
like Amagneto a lot. Yeah. And our buddy Chris, who comes on the show with us, big Saints fan, like he's been a big fan of Amagneto, and he doesn't want him to go anywhere, but I don't think they have any choice because they got no money. So they don't. I mean, it may just be that way, but I like him. And I mean, Javon Hargrave, I know he's a little bit older, but man, put him next to Grady. That could be something good. I mean, there's several guys that could be good fits for us. I mean, so I can't wait, man. I can't wait till we kind of get in there. And that the D tackle from Baylor, man, Ika, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if they're gonna stay in 3-4, that dude is massive, man. Like I mean, so it's you've got the ability to go out there and pretty much do what you want for the first time in forever, man. So
for a long time.
Yeah, it's I can't wait to get till the season's over. We can get into it. Larry said no more Titans players. Just say no to Tannehill, Carr, or Jimmy G, or Lance. We didn't even talk about that. But I mean, if they decide to move on from Lance, I mean, who knows where the guys will end up. And then Brissett, and then Dixon Waits, however you spell his name. I would like to draft Hooper out of UT to push Ritter. Hooker, yeah.
Hooker. Oh yeah, definitely.
That guy's got a cannon. Yeah, like I think he's an older guy too. He's 25 or 26. I think he's 20. I think he's Stetson Bennett age. He's 25, I think.
Oh, he's another Calvin Ridley. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man, so and we didn't even talk about the national championship, but that was crazy, man. Just an ass whooping from. I wish it was Ohio State, Georgia, because that was such a better game, man.
Yeah.
I know you're hurting about it, but and I mean, I'm not a Georgia fan, even though I'm here. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan, so I mean, but that was so bad to watch, man. That was just you saw the differences in 4 and 5 stars and 3 stars and 2 stars. That was just,
I wish y'all were in it because I mean, now they knocked us off. I mean, you guys wouldn't have went like that at 65-7. I mean, it wouldn't have been nothing like that.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
It was. I mean, we would have got. I still don't think Bama would have won because we didn't have the type of defense we've typically had over the past. I mean, dude. I mean, Hooker lit us up, man. Jalen Hyatt went the fuck off on us the entire game, and then we still only lost by a possession, but still, man, like it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same Bama this year. So, and you had Bryce getting hurt, which obviously hurt quite a bit because that was missing him for a couple of games, but. Yeah, man, Dixon. That's guy. Yeah.
Come on, Dixon. Come on,
man. Yeah. Here's how I see Brissett too. He played well at the start of the season. Yeah. He said, "John, look at me. We are the big bad team." Man, I look. I can't disagree with you, man. Yeah, y'all created Alabama East, and it is what it is until you're dethroned again, man. It is going to be the way it is. I mean, both teams going to have new quarterbacks next year. So I mean. We'll see how both those guys do. We can't really. I mean, we're losing both. I mean, we're losing Jordan Battle and Branch, which I wouldn't mind Jordan Battle either, man. To be on the Falcons, I wouldn't mind him either, to be honest. Two big pieces of defense, man. But and it's tough for me not to. I don't root for Georgia, but like having Kirby spending so much time at Alabama and winning there, like I still love Kirby, man. Like so, it's hard not to root for him. But yeah, it's in the fact that we're East West. I mean, a lot of Georgia. I don't know how you feel, Larry, man, but a lot of Georgia fans and maybe it's because Bama won so much, just hate Bama. Like just hate Bama, and I don't really care. I mean, like Georgia, like I don't. It's cool. I don't hate Georgia at all. Like I said, there's parts of the fan base for each group, and I'm sure man, that are just like you can't even deal with. I guess I think that's for every fan base. But yeah, it's. Dixon said, "Yeah, I get battle for the Falcons. You think he'd be there in the 4th round? Maybe. I think maybe third round. I don't know.
So you have a bigger issue with Auburn fans?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That's how I feel about Mayfield and Michigan guys.
Oh man,
I don't want too many Michigan guys on the Falcons, man.
Yeah, it's tough for me to root for them, dude. And it sucks when I've got like Mark Ingram going to the Saints.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I've got a Mark Ingram signed ball down there, and it's like, damn, now you're on the Saints.
That's how I feel, man. Like when they were winning with that last stint with Drew, all those Buckeyes, man, Thomas. Von Bell, Ted Ginn, just a team full of Buckeyes, man.
Yeah, and I don't like Philly either, man. They got Jalen and Devonta Smith up there in Philly. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Like, can you not go to a team I really just don't care about, or at least I root for? Like, it's tough, man. That's why I loved it when Julio was here, man. That was great to have him. Curious, I gotta hop off, guys. Great show as always. Enjoyed Kevo on the show. Have a good night. Hope Mike's car gets fixed. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back next time. I appreciate you, Kerry, as always. Larry said, I don't hate Bama. I have respect for them. No, I appreciate you, buddy. That's how it should be. Yeah. Man. So before we go, man, Kevo, I normally start the show off with this, but since we were kind of messed up tonight. So I know how Mike became a fan of the Falcons. How'd you become a fan of the Falcons up there?
Honestly, man, being on this side, being on the Maryland side, I actually grew up a Redskins fan. I got tired of the debacle and the dysfunction of Dan Snyder, and I want to say just playing Madden with the Falcons. Man. The colors, man. With my podcast, just the crown is all about just blessing who's ever on the podcast and entrepreneurship. But I also love sneakers and sports, so the black and red always goes with Jordans, and just
sure does, man.
And this is the time of course with Vic work done. The speed, man, it was something different for me.
Yeah, there's Larry, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, man. We've had so many guys on that are around your age or just younger, and that are like that Vic, man. That's like it's like they started when they started watching because he was just something different, man. Like he just like Mike and I talk about it. Like we started watching 89, 90, Dion, and like that was we were so young. It was just like, damn, this dude is ridiculous. Like just blowing by people, and it's like you look at Vic. You hadn't seen that from a quarterback position really ever. Like, Randall Cunningham, Cordell Stewart, you know what I mean? Warren Moon was not even really that type of, quarterback. So you didn't see guys like that, like this, that had the type of just electricity that dude had, man. It was just crazy. So, I mean, it's funny. I mean, like my family's all from Virginia. So like we grew up like most of my family's Redskins fans.
Okay.
Commanders fans, whatever.
You're good with me either way, man.
Can't do it. So like, I started, I would root for both teams, you know what I mean? Like, cause I'm sorry, I'll take that back. I rooted for the Redskins initially. And then when we moved down to Atlanta, I was like 5. And so 91, we played, Falcons played the Redskins in the NFC Championship game. So my dad was like, you're going to have to pick. Which one do you want to go? And I was like, well, I'm in Atlanta, so I'm gonna go ahead and go Atlanta. So that was basically how I never stopped really. Like I still watched the Skins. I was still like kind of like hope they would do well. You know what I mean? Like I never bought anything, but I still followed them, and watched them. But yeah, Snyder, dude, that's the worst owner in the history of sports, man.
It ruined, man. It ruined me, man. All the way through like middle school, man. It was just being laughed at, man. But honestly, like. I don't tell everybody this, man, but my uncle used to play ball for the Eagles, Mike Quick.
Oh, yeah?
So my family all down North Carolina, they're all Eagles fans. So I grew up with them teasing me like almost my whole life, man.
I believe it. Oh, man. All right, buddy. Well, man, I appreciate you joining me tonight, man.
Thanks.
Hopefully we'll definitely have you back on, man, when Mike's on here.
Okay.
And because like I said, I know he wanted to come on with you, man. He's bummed about missing it. But before we do get out of here, man, go ahead and like I said, plug Crowned and anything you want to parting shot before we get out of here.
Okay, guys, look out for me on YouTube coming soon. I have the equipment coming soon. I want to thank John and Mike for having me on.
Yeah, man.
I would love to be on again. I want to meet Mike. And any other questions you guys have me, I'm ready to answer. Check out the Crown Podcast on Spotify. Like I said, the Crown Podcast is pretty much something that I built for entrepreneurship in the DMV area. So anyone that has anything going on as far as business, something you have going on in life, it's pretty much just like barbershop talk. But predominantly, I'm talking sports and sneakers. So thanks to guys like you, Smitty, Alberto, you got me pretty much on my sports side because just talking sports by yourself, it gets boring for me, man. It's easy to do it with other people.
Yeah, man. Mike and I starting this, it was like we got tired of texting and talking to each other every week.
Yeah.
And it was like, shit, let's just start the podcast and see what happens, And like, we met guys like you and Smitty and Alberto and, pound for pound, all the other guys, man, and just this awesome community that we didn't even know really existed, and it's awesome, man. So, yeah, we definitely look forward to having you back on, man. And definitely throughout this off season, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun, especially when they get this playoffs over with and free agency hits, man. It's going to be like wild west for us. But
anytime y'all need me or want me on, man, I'm open. I try to jump on with Smitty and those guys every time I get the chance.
Yeah, man, I'm going to try to tonight. I got to get some food and see my kid at some point. But yeah, I'm going to try to jump on there for a few minutes. But yeah, man. So guys, we appreciate y'all watching tonight and listening to us if you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, drop us a 5-star review. Takes you just a few seconds, and it definitely helps us out on those platforms. And then on YouTube, of course, man, follow us, subscribe to us. We went over 200 today and keep on going up. Follow Variety Sports Network. A lot of great shows on Variety Sports Network. Like I said, beginning of the show, Variety Sports Collegiate now. A lot of college shows you want to get into, college football, basketball, going to keep growing there. Just a really, really good group of people there that have started I think last year, but man, they've taken off. So proud to be a part of those guys. We'll keep growing there. So hit that like button. And that's all I got, man. So y'all have a wonderful week. Mike and I will probably be back. We might do a show later this week. It just depends on how the news cycle goes and anything pops up with the Falcons or whatever. But if they don't, then we'll probably be back next Monday or next Tuesday to recap the divisional round and talk about whatever else comes up between now and then. And that's it, guys. So we appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next week.
All right, fellas. Hey, Mike, I hope everything goes well, man, when you hear this.
That's right, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Later, man.
All right.
Hey, everybody. This is Brandon, CEO of the Variety Sports Network. I just want to say a quick thank you for watching one of the shows here on the Variety Sports Network with tons of other shows and content that's available all over the place. Right here at the Variety Sports Network, from Variety Sports Network to VSN Collegiate to VSN Football, with more to come soon. So stay on the lookout for those because they're coming. They're coming very soon. But again, thank you for watching. Hey, head over to our website, www.varietysportsnet.com. You can find all of this stuff right there. Or do it the simple way. Head over to Variety Sports Network YouTube channel, and you can find everything right there as well. All the shows, stuff like that. And we hope to catch you soon. Thanks again for watching in.